Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World, and this week I'm making one of these wee boxes. Cute wee boxes, and I've made one with retired Christmas paper just to show that it'll work for Christmas gifts too. I have 4 wee rubbers inside that. They're actually cupcake rubbers, but you can put anything you want, and you can actually put money in it, which is a great wee way to give a gift. But I just simply used the ribbon to have a slide off to hold my wee leaves down. I've made one of these before a good few years back, but I thought I would make it all in one piece. The last time I did semicircles and all that joined, and it was awkward enough, but you got there in the end. But this is so easy. With our new punches, it makes it just a joy to make, honestly. This is retired paper as well. Double-sided paper is all you're going to need for it because it works so beautifully, and you just close it like so. If you were using card, it might be harder to get your wee bits and pieces all connected. But the stamp set is the circle sayings, and I've used a lovely wee cupcake out of it. So nothing other than that. And I also added the wee high. One of my favourite stamps at the minute is this wee high. It's so cute for everything you go to make, and it's out of the Easter Bunny. So bear that in mind when you're ordering stamps. The silliest things can make all that wee difference to a finished card, you know. So we'll put that together later, and I'll just get this started. Where are we? I'm running out of space in this place as usual. When you're making stuff at all, you're beat. So what you're going to need is a piece of nice DSP, whichever kind you want to use yourself. Just double-sided is perfect. I'm going with the, what do you call it, Countryside Inn DSP, which is lovely. It's full of wee rabbits and whatever, and boxes, and just generally it's a really, really nice paper. I've used quite a bit of it already, but you need 6 3/4 or 6 6/8 square is, you're going to need a bit of ribbon obviously to wrap your bit round. You're going to need a template of a punch that is 2 1/4 inches. I think it's 2 1/4. Yes, this is my second biggest punch, and you can actually buy them at the minute, so that's handy. I would be lost without my punches. I love my punches. So you also need a bit of scrap. I went ahead and stamped it out, coloured it in. I've used the boho blue blends, which work perfectly. I stamped the high onto just a piece of plain white, punched it out with a 1/2 inch punch, and coloured it in with the light boho blue, just to so it all blends in nicely. So we better start with our scoring. So as I said, 6 3/4 by 6 3/4, or we'll talk in eighths, 6 6/8 by 6 6/8 inches. I don't work in centimetres. I just can't figure it out. I'm an inch girl. I've always been inches, so I'm not going to change now. So we're going to score at 1 1/8. 1 1/8. And then go in at 2 2/8. So it's 2 1/4. And rather than working it all out, just spin your thing round. It's a square piece of paper. So 1 1/8, 2 2/8. Spin it again. 1 1/8, 2 2/8. And your last one, just make sure you're butted up nicely now. Don't go cricket. 1 1/8, 2 2/8. Simple as that. Now, before we do any, well, no, we're going to do our cutting first, of course. We need to cut it and leave a wee notch for our folds in. So, I missed one. No, it's there. God, it's so hard to see. I'm going to fold them up a wee tiny bit so that I can see what I'm flipping doing. It's hard to see those longer ones. I prefer to cut before I do my scores, so that'll show you better than I can. So we're actually going up. There's 4 squares, 1 2 3 4, and we're going to cut this line here right up to there. So just cut straight up your crease if you can see it. and then turn your thing sideways. You now have your 4 squares sitting here. We want to leave a wee peg there, a wee cut out there. So just cut right across, but leave about 1/2 inch. And then we're going to cut that bit off. God, this paper's not the best for seeing my lines. So I'm going to cut in to that and then chop that one off. Ugh. And then we're just going to do that one as well, tail it off. And you've got that nice wee thing for holding the shape of your box. So turn round to the right and do the exact same again. We're going to cut up there, leaving us 4 squares. So just cut straight up that crease mark. Turn it so you know we're going to cut again about 1/2 inch. Use that line there. Just again, we're going to cut up at an angle to that score line there, and then cut this off. If you're following along and you've done your score lines, you'll see it. But my lighting is not good for this paper. So you can see it's following suit. Turn it around again. We're going to go up this line, straight up through those, leaving you 4 squares again. Turn it round, cut down about 1/2 inch straight across, and then cut in at an angle to this one. Chop this one off, cut that one in, and repeat. So we're just going to keep doing that right the way around, just turning to your left each time. Double check where your tails are and tail that one off. And that gives you your 4 edges to work with. At this stage you can keep those if you want. I'm going to pop them over to the side here out of the way. When I need to round off, and this is the template one that I used for the other boxes, excuse me, it's using the 2 1/4 inch circle punch. So just cut one of those out. We know that our width is 2 1/4. Get yourself a pencil, and we're just going to line it up at both sides and right up to the top. So you're really just marking either side. So just run your pencil along there and do that on all 4. Just marking your curved top. I don't think I've cut mine in enough, but I can easily trim that off. Bad lighting does not help this kind of work, sure doesn't. So now that we're here, I'm going to do my folds, and then I'll see that I'm a wee bit, that shows me better where my line should be. And again at this side, seems okay. Just maybe a wee clip. You won't have this problem. I just couldn't see it in that light. Simple as that. So just check the other ones, make sure you're happy. That's not too bad. This one has a wee bit of a rim. Check this one, there's a wee bit there. A wee bit here. Goodness me, I didn't make a good job of that at all. Should have made it in a different colour. Just fold all those wee notches in, and I'm hoping yours is okay. That one seems okay. Right, so now we want to cut round those. I'm just using my scissors. It's as simple as that. Just follow the pencil line. It'll bring you up to the top. And bring you across. And just do that on all 4 sections. So this is the way you should be left, and now you can do your creases. I'm just using my finger because I don't want to hurt my DSP. It's not that heavy. It's not as heavy as card, you know, so it doesn't really need a good burnishing. So just rub your finger along. Now I have chose to put this as the outside of my box, so I'll want the opposite for the wee things at the top, and you need to get a 2-inch punch this time, and just punch yourself 2 2-inch circles. And then cut them in half. I'm just going to use my cutter. So it doesn't really matter what way they go. You can have it stripy or sideways. We'll have one sideways and one striped. Line it into 1 inch on your cutting machine. I'm going to go to the centre. God, that light is shining down and bouncing off my hair. So I'll try my best to get this properly. Yeah, that's dead on. So we're just cutting them, basically cutting them in half, going into the inch, line it up so that you're happy enough with it. And chop it. So you end up with 4 pieces, and we want to stick those 4 pieces to these. So we're going with the opposite pattern so that it shows up nice. And a wee bit of glue. So you can use wet glue or your tape runner, whichever works well for you. I don't want this all splurging out, so I'm being extra careful. Now we want to line it up with the crease line. Bring it right down. Line it up so that you're equally spaced all the way around. And just do your fold so that you haven't gone over. You don't want any of your paper hanging over that side. And just do that all 4 pieces. So when you have that done, you want to put some glue on the wee notches. So I'm using a Tomboy glue for this, so I want a good hold. Just a wee bit. And then you want to start forming your box. So get those corners nicely lined up. And just move around quick so that you can go back and adjust anything that slips or moves. So, sticky Mickey again. Just double check. You can see that one needs a wee press. So you can use your bone folder to give it a wee press. Push it flat into your desk. You just want to make sure they're nicely glued. You don't want your box coming apart. So that seems okay. Pop in your gift or whatever you're putting in there, and then go 1, 2, 3, and then tuck that one in, and there you have your nice wee box all decorated nicely at the bottom and all. So now you want to do your ribbon. So you want your ribbon coming from about the center round the box and up the other side. Now at this stage you can decide just to tie a bow, you know, like a wee parcel, your ribbon going on the 4 sides. I didn't want to do that. I wanted a wee bit of decoration rather than a wee tag hanging off it. So I know about there it does. So I'll just measure that for you so you'll know. It's about just about 8 inches, just under 8 inches. And that's the matching boho blue ribbon. So what you want to do, we're going to cut a few of these wee bits off. Straighten that one up. And I'm just going to use my permanent tape runner from Stampin' Up. I'm going to put some on the end of that. We'll just wrap this around. You don't want it real tight, you want it that you can slide it off easily. The recipient can slide it off easily. So just about there. So just leave that sitting for a minute and then get yourself a 1.5 inch punch or a circle die of about 1.5 inches. Doesn't have to be definitely 1.5 inches. And we'll want to punch. I get one out of that. You need 2 1.5 inches. So I'm just trying to use my scraps best I can. So space, not a space left. So if you're happy with that, it's tight enough for you to slip on and off. You want to slide one of these underneath and the other one on top and decide which way looks better to you. Does it look better like that or using the other side? I actually like the lighter side, so I'm going to go with that. You could, if you wanted, go in with a bigger circle underneath, which would give, I think I did that on one of them. Yeah, this one here, I did a 1 3/4 inch for the underneath bit, so it gives that wee trim. This one I didn't, I just went with the 2 pieces at 1.5, but that was the lighter one was there. This is the other way around, which is kind of freaking me out. Where's my... So it's just deciding which way. I don't know, I don't think it shows up as nice, but that sort of disappears into it. Maybe a piece of... I'm going to get a piece of the boho blue card. Right, so I changed my mind. I went and punched 1 3/4 inches out of this one. So this one is going to slide in. I'm going to put the rabbit at the side, underneath your ribbon, like so. So if you add just a tape run of that, just to hold that in place for you. You don't want it sticking to your box at all, but you do want it sticking to the ribbon. So line that up so the ribbon grabs it. This one is going to be added with wet glue. I'm showing the other side up. I'm going to put a wee bit of wet glue there so it grips that ribbon from it. And just decide which way you want this to go. And just center it in your bigger circle if you have a bigger circle. If you don't, doesn't matter. I mean, you could go a square even. You wouldn't have to go a circle if you have no punches. So I'm going to slide that off now so that I can give it a good press before it settles in the wrong place. Just make sure it's where you want it to be and then press it good and hard. take, and then you want to add a dimensional of some sort. I'm going to use 2 smaller ones. Just to raise your cupcake up. That cupcake is so handy, isn't it? I don't think I have a cupcake stamp anymore, so I was glad to get this one. So as I said, that was out of that Circle Sands, coloured in. You could layer up the bottom, but cut that off and 3D it, and then add your hand. If, you know, it depends on how high you want to go. So that should just slip back on with minimum bother if you haven't cut it too tight, but you do need it, you know, to fit. Come on, cut on the corner, and then just make sure it's centered. And that is your box complete. Where's those other ones? So you could do a nice wee variety. It doesn't take that much, like 6 3/4 inch square piece. So you're bound to have some of that left in boxes or packs of card or paper that you've had for a good few years, and you could make up a right few wee boxes, maybe for Christmas, for money, sweets, treats, jewellery, whatever. I think they're cute. Not too hard to make. So, hope you enjoyed that. Working good leg. Don't be cutting your lines wrong. It's just unfortunate when you're doing a video, you have lights coming from different directions, so it's bright enough for you, but it really blocks the light from me because I'm at the dark end of it. So be warned. So everything I've used will be listed down below. It will be the stuff here because these are both retired, but the wee stamp set and whatever, and the markers and whatever will all be linked down below. And I'll hopefully catch us all again next week. Thanks for watching now. Bye.